Now, from the station on your side, this is Wavy News 10.
Empty store shelves, gas station lines, backed up traffic, and boarded up buildings. Big trouble in store tonight for millions of people in the southeastern U.S. coast.
They are preparing for the worst as Matthew roars through the Bahamas towards the southeastern part of the United States. Good evening. Matthew's track may have changed in our favor, but for people from Florida to the lower part of the Outer Banks, serious trouble may still be in store.
The storm remains at terrifying levels, really, with nearly 10 million people in its path. Live pictures from South Beach in Florida and the road in and out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina here for you. Evacuations are underway in many coastal communities. Others are preparing to ride out the storm.
And so far, Matthew is blamed for at least 11 deaths. This video from Cuba shows the scope of the damage as it passed over the eastern side of that island nation. The Bahamas are next on Matthew's radar.
We start our team coverage with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater and the storm's latest position. Don, things are sure looking better here.
Yeah, our forecast is certainly looking better here. We are seeing some tidal flooding into the region, but that is not associated whatsoever with Matthew. I want to show you what's going on. It's over open water right now. It did weaken a little bit, of course, passing over the eastern tip of Cuba, but now it's over open water and it's likely to re-strengthen in the next couple of days. Here's a view of things. You can see it again exiting Cuba, and it becomes a little blocky resolution at night, but you can see during the day today there's the eye, but then it disappears right about into here. So that's about where the center of the storm is located. And of course there is another tropical storm way out into here, but that's Nicole, and that's going to move out over the open waters. We're not worried about that one. That's not going to hit anybody. But this has already hit some areas. Matthew, 120-mile-an-hour winds, moving to the northwest now at about 12 miles an hour. There's where it is overnight tonight, 2 o'clock in the morning, 125-mile-an-hour winds, 130-mile-an-hour winds by tomorrow afternoon. It's over some very, very warm water. And there's where it is toward the Fort Pierce, Florida area by 2 o'clock in the morning, late tomorrow night, 130-mile-an-hour winds. But you'll note forecast accuracy at this level, it's about 72 hours out, I guess, or about 48 hours, 72 hours out. And there's where it is by Friday afternoon. It's basically moved on through Cape Canaveral to the east of Orlando, but Orlando could be in the path of the storm. If it's over land, it's weaker. If it's right along the coast, it's stronger and really, really doing a number on a lot of condos along the Florida coastline. There's where things are by 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. There's Savannah. That's basically been evacuated as well. Charleston, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, 105-mile-an-hour winds. And the forecast models are now pretty consistent in moving this thing offshore, so I think we're going to be okay. I want to show you one other thing, and the GFS and the Euro. They're a little bit into alignment now. There's the GFS. Here's the Euro. It brings it a little bit farther northward, but again, we're not totally out of the woods, for example, for Ocracoke and Hatteras, but I think we're looking a lot better. And then it just kind of swings it around and lollygags it around well on off to the south. We're going to take a look at what goes on for our forecast coming up over the next few days. Forecast models are in consensus for the hurricane, basically. But then we'll look at us. Tides, breeze, showery, cool. More of that, tell you in a few minutes.
People in the southern Outer Banks continue to keep a watch of the weather. A live picture now from Avon on Hatteras Island. The sun has been out most of the day here. A little gloomy right now.
Yeah, but much of the barrier islands of coastal Carolina are still within that cone of uncertainty, as Don just told you, so they can't take chances. Then your side's Matt Gregory continues our coverage from Nags Head. Matt?
Yeah, tourists and people here in Nags Head say they're concerned with Hurricane Matthew. Why wouldn't they be? But they've got other weather concerns. This northeast breeze right now, you can see what it's doing right now to 20 miles an hour. It looks like it's made some very choppy surf. And you see the wind turbines on Jeanette's Pier really burning today. But the bigger concern with this northeast breeze actually comes further up north in Kitty Hawk. The bold, or maybe the brave, tourists came out to enjoy the sun on Wednesday. In Kitty Hawk, sometimes it's hard to get a beach day when there isn't much of a beach and there's a hurricane looming, but that didn't stop Harlana Steppe.
Well, we leave Saturday morning, so hopefully it'll hold off till then. But we were here last year when they had a northeasterner go through and then a hurricane went by, so it's just like, oh, here we go again.
Here we go again is a very real feeling for locals like John Carter. Regardless of the hurricane's path, the current wind is frustrating enough.
We got these northeast winds now, and it's going to be like this for a couple days, and hopefully the road here can survive.
Route 12 got some added protection Wednesday. Sand poured onto dunes while waves rocked against the man-made wall. Even if Hurricane Matthew doesn't come, the mayor of Kitty Hawk, Gary Perry, says he's not sure this will hold.
Well, the state road crews right now are trying to shore up what was washed away by Hermine. And those areas that they didn't already get to, they're trying to put sand there now. And it's just a buffer. That's all it is.
A constant fear with any storm or heavy wind coming in. Will Route 12 hold? And still here, people are very concerned with Hurricane Matthew's effects. I just talked to a couple people who actually had to evacuate Ocracoke Island earlier today. So everyone here in the Nags Head area continuing to monitor and evaluate what's going to happen with Hurricane Matthew ahead of this weekend. In Nags Head, Matt Gregory, 10 on your side.
Thank you, Matt.
Track Matthew anytime with the radar section of the Wavy weather app on wavy.com and our mobile news app, the full hurricane ready guide with information you need now to prepare for storms as well as those weekend event changes. And the next big track update comes up just before Wavy News 10 at 11.
No verdict yet in the case against a Norfolk police officer accused of killing a mentally ill man 2 years ago. About an hour ago, jurors went home for their first full day of deliberations without a decision. 10 on your side's Aaron Kelly has been all over this case and has more on closing arguments today. Aaron.
Attorneys argued their final points to the jury in what took about nearly 2.5 hours. They had dozens of witnesses throughout this trial that they referenced today in their closing arguments. The defense says that this was a tragedy, not a crime. Prosecutors say that Officer Michael Eddington Jr. acted out of the heat of passion. In June 2014, Michael Eddington Jr. responded to the Latham home in the Park Place neighborhood after a call that Latham was threatening his brother with a knife. Eddington says Latham refused multiple commands from officers to drop a knife and took a step to the side before the shooting. Prosecutors said the step didn't happen and showed a video in which Eddington was demonstrating Latham's behavior in an interview with police, and he did not move his feet. They argued Eddington could not deal with crisis. The job wasn't for him. The defense argued that Eddington was nervous but followed his training and could not wait any longer before shooting Latham. Now, at one point today, the defense attorney asked the judge to dismiss a juror who he believed had been sleeping during parts of the trial. The judge denied that request and said although he did see the man put his head down and look down, he appeared to be attentive. Live in Norfolk, Aaron Kelly, 10 on your side.
And defense attorneys want jurors to show mercy when they sentence a woman convicted of murder. Earlier today, a jury found Takara Lewis White guilty of all 8 charges, including murder and child abuse. 2 young girls died on I-264 in Portsmouth last year when Lewis White fled a state trooper and crashed into trees. The girl's mother testified today that Lewis White has never apologized to her, but Lewis White's attorneys say that she is sorry and that a crash had tremendous impact on both families. She could get anywhere from 16 to 100 years in prison. Look for an update as soon as the jury decides on Wavy.com.
Developing news now in Norfolk. Police just identified the victim of an early morning homicide. They say someone shot and killed 33-year-old Dante Lamb on 29th Street just before 4:30 this morning. Officers remained at the scene through the early afternoon. Several neighbors say they heard the gunshots. One woman told us her roommate was interviewed by police.
She heard the shots and she heard the arguing because it woke her up. She was up through the night, but she didn't look out the window either. She said she just heard some arguing, the loud arguing, and then she heard the shots. Pow, pow, pow.
Police say they have no other information to release at this time.
We are still awaiting a name to go with the woman who died last night in Virginia Beach. Officers found the 18-year-old woman shot to death at around 10 o'clock last night on Mondrian Loop. That's off Holland Road. Detectives are questioning a man about what happened, but say they are not looking for any suspects.
You can thank a broken sewer line for a huge traffic mess right in downtown Norfolk this morning. The road caved in during morning rush hour at Brambleton Avenue near Bush Street. And the hole is fixed for now with a temporary patch. City officials tell us they'll put a more permanent fix down on the road next week.
Still to come on Wavy News 10 at 6, new information on a woman arrested for killing her husband in York County. What 10 on your side learned from paperwork filed in court. Plus,
The Virginia Beach City Council rejected a sports arena on this site. So what happens next? Can it be revived? Will it ever happen? That story coming up.
And in sports, more changes to game schedules for both high school and college football.
And what, if anything, we'll have to deal with once Matthew heads north. Don's forecast as we continue this Wednesday night.
The word spread fast about Betty Pollard's hometown catering, and in 1967, the first Pollard's Chicken and the famous fried chicken and puffs were born. Today, the family runs Pollard's Chicken restaurants and catering all over Hampton Roads, and people still agree that Pollard's is the best chicken in town.
A man attacked me in a parking garage, tried to stab me with an 8-inch knife, but I carry a pistol. I fight back. That's why I'm still here. Every woman has a right to defend herself with a gun if she chooses. Hillary Clinton disagrees with that. Don't let politicians take away your right to own a gun. Donald Trump supports my right to own a gun. Defend your rights. Vote Donald Trump for president.
The NRA Institute for Legislative Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome to Checkered Flag. I'm product specialist Jacqueline.
Not everyone is looking for the same thing when they walk onto a car lot. He may be looking for model information. She may want to quickly compare prices. They may want to see how much their trade is worth before looking at a new car. And that's okay. At Checkered Flag, we respect your time. Simply tell us what's important to you. Under this flag, we're here to help, not haggle. Checkered Flag. Fast, simple, smart.
Discover a boatload of savings during the Columbus Day sale at Grand Furniture. Now featuring the new Magnolia Home Collection. Through Monday, save 20 to 50% on furniture and mattresses throughout the store. Or explore another great way to save with up to 5 years no interest. Everyone gets credit at Grand. Apply online at grandfurniture.com. Don't wait. Set sail for savings now through Columbus Day Monday at Grand Furniture.
Pollard's is the best chicken in town for over 49 years. But it's more than chicken. Pollard's also offers the best catering, including corporate box lunches. Call or order online at pollardscatering.com or stop by one of our 9 locations today.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Michael & Son. From the station on your side, you're watching Wavy News 10 at 6.
New details in a York County murder investigation.
Deputies say 1 week ago, 32-year-old Lynn Fogarty shot her husband, 32-year-old Giancarlo DeFazio. According to court records, 22 guns and ammo were taken from the home, although it is not clear which gun may have been used in the crime. Court documents also show a detective smelled alcohol on Fogarty and observed multiple empty alcohol bottles at the home.
A week ago, Fogarty called 911 saying her husband was after her and she had just shot him in the chest. Police say this is a domestic situation. Fogarty faces a second-degree murder charge. Her bond hearing has been rescheduled for October 13th. Next at 6, trying to revive the dead. See how some are still hoping the Virginia Beach Arena deal can still go forward.
And Don continues to track Matthew's every move and every model run. His full forecast into the weekend when we come back.
Come into Captain D's, where we're making up our delicious new salmon cakes, seared to perfection in our new grilled Alaska salmon cakes meal. Also try our fish and butterfly shrimp or southern style whitefish. For full meals starting at $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Surprise! I'm back. You said impossible. I said BC powder. BC's powerful ingredients took care of my tough pain fast.
We got you back. BC, the speed of powder.
Hey, baby, how are you?
I have a surprise for you.
You have a surprise for me?
At Dominion, 1 in 5 new hires is a veteran, and when they're away, they miss out on a lot. But they won't miss out on financial support, because we cover any difference between their military pay and their Dominion salary and continue benefits for them and their families. Why do we do it? Because our vets sacrifice enough. Dominion. Depend on us for more than energy.
Hi, Mrs. Johnson.
How'd you know my name?
We know a lot of things. You just moved in and you got your mortgage through Bayport. With great rates and affordable lending options, word gets around.
Who wouldn't get a mortgage from Bayport?
That'll be 75 cents.
And we won't take electronic payments.
No problem. I knew that.
Bayport Credit Union, the smarter way to bank.
Hi, Mrs. Lee. How's the new job?
Come into Captain D's, where we're making up our delicious new salmon cakes, seared to perfection in our new grilled Alaska salmon cakes meal. Also try our fish and butterfly shrimp or southern-style whitefish. For full meals starting at $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Cooking is my passion, and fresh ingredients are as important as the utensils I use. Just like at work, I have the right tools to handle any electrical project.
I'm Paul Grimes, master electrician, and I am Bud's.
Now you can get a one-of-a-kind look with custom suits and dress shirts at Men's Warehouse. You choose the style, fabric, and details, and we'll measure you for the perfect fit. Create your custom look today at Men's Warehouse.
Welcome back. Is there any chance an arena will ever come to Virginia Beach? Council made the decision last night. The answer is no.
But does no mean no in this case? Is there a chance the mayor can change some minds? 10 on your side's Andy Fox has this follow-up for us.
The arena would be built right here. Saving the arena deal. How do you do it? It began this morning with a phone call.
Obviously, I'm disappointed.
The first order of the day for Mayor Will Sessoms, get on the hook to longtime council member Lewis Jones, once an arena supporter, now a defector.
I do feel that if I could get more equity from the developer, that perhaps we could revive this project.
Sessoms believes lack of developer equity in the deal, $20 million, is not enough. But Sessoms also points out the city has zero exposure.
The only dollar that a citizen of Virginia Beach would pay for this project would be if they bought a ticket, bought food and beverage in the facility when they were attending the event, or staying in a hotel at the oceanfront.
Councilman Jones and John Moss refused to return phone calls. Councilwoman Barbara Henley always opposed the project. A supermajority of 9 votes needed because city land is to be leased. With the Jones and Moss defections, the number for the deal, only 8. Developer Andrea Kilmer.
That project could spur redevelopment of the entire oceanfront, and it's just, it is a travesty for the city.
That is Sessoms' point to arena, wintertime events, maybe a hockey team. Some people, like this speaker, just don't care about that.
It's just an endless laundry list that we dump in the oceanfront to try to hide the reality that it's cold here in the wintertime.
Andrea Kilmer says maybe she needs to take her arena project to another city like Chesapeake or Norfolk.
There was excitement that was being generated, and I want to get that excitement back.
Sessoms appears stuck in the middle, but will reach out to Kilmer, who is out of town, to see if the deal can be adjusted. So Mayor Sessoms thinks more equity from the developer and good luck with interest rates will both be part of the equation that could save the arena deal. In Virginia Beach, Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
A couple of days ago, I was saying to the Outer Banks residents, yeah, you want to start preparing now. But for the Hampton Roads residents, I was saying, well, let's wait till Wednesday or Thursday before you nail things down. It's Wednesday, almost Thursday. And really, I think we're going to be okay with this whole situation. Latest on what's going on with Matthew. It's over the open water. It passed through Haiti. It moved on through the eastern tip of Cuba. It is now emerged and out over the Bahamas, really raking the Bahamas quite likely. We have no real solid reports from there. The eye starts disappearing, but I think it's right on into here, and it's likely to continue moving northwest, but we'll let it run up to the present time one more time here. And again, it's disappeared for a time, but I think it'll start to strengthen a bit as it is over open water. It's very, very warm water at that. 120-mile-an-hour winds right now, moving to the northwest at 12. There's where it is overnight, 125 miles an hour. It's strengthened a little bit more by tomorrow afternoon, and it's headed toward Florida. There's Miami right there. Fort Pierce is right about into here. 2 o'clock in the morning, Thursday night, Friday morning, 130-mile-an-hour winds moving right along the coastline. So this is really, really a nasty situation. If it's a little bit farther inland, it probably does more damage, but it's a little bit weaker It'll be a little bit weaker if it's over land, but it does more damage because, you know, just think of all the barrier islands along here with condos and all kinds of things, all kinds of developments going on. Lots of people, 130-mile-an-hour winds, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. There's where it is by Saturday morning, starting to recurve offshore. But again, forecast accuracy by that point. It could be over Jacksonville at that point. I showed you some forecast model that does have it over Jacksonville earlier, but I'm going to focus a little bit more on what's going on with our weather and show you that we're doing fine. Here's where things are by Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock, 75-mile-an-hour winds. Forecast models very, very steady and pushing it on the east coast of Florida. Up to here, well, yeah, some of them haven't even looping on around. So it gets still really fuzzy once we get to 4 or 5 days out in terms of what things are going to do. But it's not fuzzy for us. I want to show you what's going on. It's a little cloudy. Breezy, sprinkle or two. That's what we've had. That's what we're going to continue to have during the overnight hours. Here's where we are on up to the present time. Lots and lots of cloud cover. And again, just a sprinkle or two. We can see that at 7 o'clock, 68, 69, 70 degrees. 7 o'clock in the morning, a little on the cool side, 64 to around 70 with this persistent northeast breeze. Tides will be up again tomorrow. As we are low 70s during the day for tomorrow. Then Friday will warm back on up a little bit, but a better chance of a little bit of rainfall into the region. Some scattered showers during the afternoon as we are by Friday during the evening hours. A look at our cloud cover. It is a little fuzzy out there. And again, occasionally a little bit of a spritz of rain. But the big thing going on is this afternoon we had a tide that was up to nuisance tidal flooding. It'll be up to nuisance tidal flooding overnight after midnight. Tomorrow afternoon, minor tidal flooding. 4.5 is minor tidal flooding. That's the bottom line of it. Nuisance tidal flooding coming up late tomorrow night and into Friday. It'll be nuisance tidal flooding. And again, not as a result of what's going on with Matthew. 68, 71 degrees. Any warmer anywhere? Nah, everybody's around 68, 70 degrees. It's kind of autumn weather, but breezy. Look at the wind, 15, 21. These are the steady winds throughout the area. What do we get overnight? It'll continue being rather breezy overnight. And during the day tomorrow, we'll drop into the low 60s, low 70s during the afternoon coming up for tomorrow. Straight sprinkle or two, really all the way on, even into tomorrow night. A little bit better shot at some rain Friday and Saturday. Sunday, we could see a little bit of early rainfall into the area. Temperatures bounce around a little bit, but the big news is Matthew's not going to get us, but we'll reaffirm that coming up at 11. So join us for that at 11 o'clock.
The season ends for the Orioles. The Redskins get ready to take on the Ravens, and big news for you Old Dominion football fans. Next on the Sports Wrap.
For years, I've trained dogs for the Marines. And like me, some of these dogs have seen many tours of duty. And for the past 15 years, I've been a Navy Federal member. Thanks to their fast approval process, when it came time to buy a new car, we got everything we needed to transport my wife's little bundle of joy, who I just adore.
Open to the armed forces, the DoD, and their families. Navy Federal Credit Union.
You push a little button and you get hot chocolate. Push a little button and you get some tea. The world's gone mad just pushing little buttons, but what about you and me?
Today, Cox has internet so fast it can power whatever amazing tech the future dreams up.
You push a little button.
100 times more powerful Gigablast internet is here. Bring on tomorrow.
It's happening now. Toyota's Flash Savings Event with thousands of award-winning Toyotas to choose from, including brand new 17s and amazing closeout deals on remaining 16s. Visit buyatoyota.com for special limited-time flash deals not seen on TV. From low payment leases to 0% APR on select models. And every new Toyota is backed by Toyota Care. 2 years of no-cost maintenance. Don't let time lapse on these incredible deals. Toyota, let's go places.
There's a place where practically everything is special. A one-of-a-kind place to explore, to delight in something old, something new, to find a gift, to make a memory. There's a place where thinking is definitely outside the big box. And, oh yes, to play. So come, rediscover your neighbor. The new Portsmouth. Visit portsva.com.
Selecting a pediatrician for your child is a big decision. You want doctors your friends and families trust. You want offices close to home, work, and school. You want online appointments and after-hours care. You get all of that with a CHKD Medical Group pediatrician. Plus, our full family of pediatric specialists and surgeons, all from the name parents have trusted for more than 50 years. CHKD, where kids are more than patients.
And we're more than a hospital.
Even though they've turned a lot of double plays. Oh, there's a drive to deep left field, and the ball game is over.
And so it was for the Orioles season. The Toronto Blue Jays, with a 3-run home run in the 11th inning, sends Toronto into the division series against the Rangers. The Orioles go home and think about what could have been. The playoffs continue tonight with the Mets hosting the Giants. I'm Bruce Rader. Being proactive, Old Dominion decided to play it safe because of the possible effects of Hurricane Matthew and decided today to play its football game against UMass Friday night at SB Ballard Stadium instead of Saturday afternoon. ODU already moved one game this season because of bad weather, and even though it is going to be a challenge with classes scheduled on campus Friday night, the game must go on, and because of the switch, the Old Dominion Football Show with Coach Bobby Wilder will now air Thursday night at 10:45 on Fox 43. Several local high school teams have moved their games around. All of the Virginia Beach teams will be playing tomorrow night. For an update on the schedule changes, go to Wavy.com and click on sports. And don't fret, Friday night flights will go on as scheduled here on Wavy TV 10. The Washington Redskins will be 3.5-point underdogs when they take the short trip to Baltimore on Sunday to take on the Ravens. After losing their first two games to the Steelers and Cowboys, the Skins have rebounded with wins against the Giants and the Browns. Their run defense is one of the worst in the NFL so far, while the Ravens' D has been fantastic.
Players know they're number one ranked in defense. They're very good on special teams. Offensively, Joe Flacco and Steve Smith and Wallace and a good young running back in West and a good offensive line, Yonda. I mean, they have good players. So we understand it's going to be a great challenge, and they're close proximity to us. So I think everybody will have a little extra motivation.
Now, quarterback Kirk Cousins, who has run hot and cold so far this season, will have his hands full against that Ravens defense. But Kirk is just happy with his team's two-game winning streak.
It's good to be 2-2, better than 1-3 or 0-4, but certainly feel like we also could be better. So we just keep chugging along. You know, we don't live in the past. We try to learn from the past and move forward and control what we can control going forward, and just keep working and stay at it.
That's a 1 o'clock game on Sunday, and you can see it live on Fox 43. And coming up tonight at 10:45 on the Fox 43 Sports Wrap, one of our most popular segments of the fall. It's the Friday Night Flights High School Football Top 10 Plays of the Week. See if your favorite team made it into the top 10 tonight on the Sports Wrap. And I'll see you guys back here at 11 with a wrap-up of the day.
All right, lots going on today. More so adjusting for Matthew.
Yeah, the thing about it is it began last night in terms of watching what's going on with the forecast models. They started trending toward keeping it well on off to our south. That continued this morning with Jeremy Wheeler. It continued this afternoon and will likely continue into the evening hours. So I think we're doing fine with it. We'll see 72 tomorrow, about same as today, a little bit breezy. 77 on Friday. And again, looks like we'll miss Matthew. Join us for updates.
We'll look at that shot, Kitty Hawk.
See you here tonight.
It's the